Welcome to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kim.
We're glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. We are at the end of February. I was thinking this year is not a leap year, so we're going to be in March on Wednesday. Crazy. With snow still coming down here in Washington State.
Don't even know what happened to February. I mean, it felt like at times it was really slow. And then other times I feel like, wait a minute. Wow, it went fast.
It's crazy that it's almost March.
I know. And yes, we're in Washington State.
Yeah.
I'm the mom, Sarah's the daughter.
And then I have other daughters that will be making an appearance. One of them looking at
Sarah's in Eastern Washington on the other side of the mountains, and I'm on Western Washington. And I don't know what's going on with my weather, but I think Donna, my friend Donna, lives in Tri-Cities. She goes, you got more snow over there than we have over here this winter.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we're supposed to get more snow tonight. Like all of a sudden today we've been kind of cold, but it's been like hovering around the low 30s, but then we have to have moisture. And if it's dry, then we don't get snow. Right. So I was on my phone on my lunch break. And I'm like, what is this weather warning? Just all of a sudden popped up that we could get from like 10 o'clock tonight to 10 o'clock tomorrow night, but it's not like a ton of snow.
Yeah.
But it probably will melt and be icy. That's usually what happens. I think they're only talking it doesn't sound like much to people that live in the Midwest, but 2 to 3 inches, but 2 to 3 inches here will cripple us. If we don't have any snow removal and we have hills.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, and it could be that people 10 miles or 6 miles east of me will get 3 inches and we'll get maybe a trace. And we have these, they call them microclimates. And so it's just, you just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So they said it the other night and it happened. I didn't believe them, but sure enough, about midnight, about 11 o'clock, I was getting ready to go to bed and I thought, the trees are white outside. But like an hour earlier, I'd gone out, taken some garbage out to the garbage can, and it was just kind of a misty rain. Yeah. So I thought, we're just going to get that rainy stuff. And then I'm like, within an hour, everything was coated. The street was coated and everything. So it came down big flakes. And yeah, there's a lot of people driving to Nashville for market that I've been seeing their updates. I'm like, and part of the country is like,
not just here. Yeah.
Nutsos. But Jan Hicks, I just saw they were going through Kansas. They went down and no snow. I don't know if Kansas gets a lot of snow.
I actually don't know very much about Kansas.
It just looked dry and brown and kind of ugly. I'm sorry if you're watching and you live in Kansas. When we drove through Kansas last year on our road trip in May, I wasn't super impressed either.
There's really pretty parts, but I think that we're kind of spoiled in the Northwest to natural beauty, and just the variety. That's what I
like.
You can go 2 hours and it's a completely different landscape, or even a half hour and it's completely different landscape.
It was like North Dakota. But maybe a little greener than I remember North Dakota. I mean, North Dakota, I don't know. It just was a lot of fields. And we didn't go during sunflower season. I'm sure in Kansas, we probably would have passed a lot of sunflower farms maybe along the way. But it's just straight. It's just straight. The road we were on. Straight through the state. And not a lot. But anyways, she didn't have a lot of snow. I don't know. Sambry Stitches. She lives here. She lives in Bremerton, and she's a designer, and she's on they're driving too. They just packed up, but they said it was 35 hours to Tennessee, and I'm like, that seems like not long enough, because it was more than 35 hours to Indianapolis, and I mean Tennessee's below Indianapolis.
Yeah, I wonder what route they'd be taking.
I don't know, but 35 hours didn't seem very long. I mean, it seems like a long time, but when I started seeing all these cars, people, packing up their cars with their patterns and everything, I'm like, oh, this is a bad time of year to be driving this year. Maybe some years it's not bad, but I hope everybody that is out there getting snow is staying safe, because I do know it's kind of a swamp. Are you supposed to get any more?
We had snow, but it didn't stick today at all. So it was kind of snowed off and on all day, but it didn't really leave anything behind.
Yeah. The
So
ground's not cold
not,
enough.
yeah, not really a lot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I saw Alicia Paulson Instagram. She was packing up all her stuff, and she, because of the snow in Portland, because they got like 10 inches. She
Crazy.
wasn't sure. She was really worried she was going to miss the cutoff for getting her patterns and kits and everything over to market. But I think she did get them in at the last.
She had to go to the post office, I think. And
She,
her husband works at a hospital, and he stayed at the hospital because the roads are so bad. But then Carolyn Zook lives in the Portland area, but maybe she's south of downtown Portland. I'm not sure where each of them lives, but she said she only got a little bit, but enough that she got snow days from work.
yeah,
But I don't think she got what Alicia Paulson got, because I saw Alicia's pictures on Instagram, and
a lot of snow.
it was beautiful, but it was a lot of snow. And by the time February rolls around, and I always forget this because they do say that February is actually Western Washington's snowiest part of the year if we're going to get snow. But it just seems odd to get it this late. I mean, it feels like this should be something that would happen to Cassidy in Duluth, my daughter-in-law. I mean, they get snow till April. So, oh my gosh, you guys, she was here for a visit, and she got home, and there was snow that had fallen while she was gone, and she went out to get their snow blower out of their garage, and water, because before she left on her trip, and my son left on his trip, it had melted. Their snow had melted, and they need a French drain, otherwise the water goes into their garage. And then it refroze while she was gone, and everything is frozen to the ground. She could not chip that thing out. She said the lawnmower is frozen to the ground. The Traeger grill that Andrew bought is frozen to the ground. And she had said, there's a platform in there. I think I know why that platform's there, Andrew. We should probably move that stuff up. Oh, it'll be fine.
No, it wasn't fine. I told her when he gets home from Malaysia, he should take her hairdryer out there and be the one to get those loose.
Yeah, he's in Malaysia living it up.
Oh gosh, yeah.
By the pool. No, he's working, but
no, he's working.
The weekend I'm sure saw him by the pool. But anyway, so yeah, it's still wintry here, which I'm not really complaining, but it's just kind of shocking to me when I keep seeing that pop up.
Winter. What are you fussing about? You love
it. I do love winter. The only time I don't like winter is when I have to drive a long distance around here in the snow. But my husband's PT guy, his physical therapist, said to him, when did we go? Friday. Because there was some talk about snow off and on here, but that was so far out. He goes, if it snows, just cancel. Don't come in next week if it's snowing. So I think Dad's really hoping for snow because he kind of hates physical therapy right now.
He'd like to get out of
here. This is our physical therapy area right here. His step,
there's his step,
and his walker that he uses just as like a parallel bar.
Because he's now walking with a cane for the most part. Just uses that for the getting.
Apparently, he's been walking around the house today without the cane a little bit because he said, "Yeah, my knee is feeling even a lot better today, even when I'm walking without the cane." And I'm like, "What do you mean you're walking without the cane?"
While you were in the bathroom and he was chatting with me before we started recording, he goes, "It's feeling really stiff and kind of tight tonight." So maybe he shouldn't be walking without a cane yet. If you're new watching us, if this is your first time watching, my dad, mom's, husband, obviously, just had knee replacement surgery at the beginning of February. And so it's been a little journey.
But he got us, okay. we were storing his car at our other son's house while Cassidy was here a couple of weeks ago, because we were supposed to we're getting a new driveway and a new walkway, and they were going to maybe come that week. So we wanted to have fewer cars on the street, and he wasn't driving. So, but then he's starting to get antsy about it. And he said the other day, I want to go over and pick up my car, because he can drive. I mean, he got the clear, as long as he's not on narcotics, and it is his left leg. He doesn't need his left leg to drive, and he's got an automatic anyway. So he did. We went and picked it up, and he did a little errand by himself to Staples with his cane. And then he went to the post office to pick up some paperwork, FMLA stuff. And yeah, so.
He doesn't need you anymore.
No, except for he seems to really need me to still do the dishes. Can't quite manage the kitchen.
Is he talking to you? Can he hear you? Or is he just watching something? Oh, I just heard something in the background, and I thought maybe he was yelling at you.
No, he emptied the dishwasher earlier, And you guys, literally my kitchen, you could just stand in one place and pretty much pivot anywhere you need to go. I have the tiniest kitchen.
He's walking
No,
around the house without a cane. He can unload the dishwasher.
but he was like wiped out. Like it just wore him out. I'm like, you didn't have to even hardly move, dude. Just turn. I have had apartment kitchens bigger than the kitchen I have in this house.
I've had apartment kitchens bigger than your kitchen.
It's so bad. Anyway, so we're getting there though. Getting there. I think next week we go down to just once a week PT. And he says, well, I should be back to work by the end of the month. So
That's good.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, I guess that's good.
That much closer to retirement.
Yeah.
One more month. Yeah.
Well,
anyway, we do stitch.
we do stitch. We just like to visit first. We know a lot of you are here because you just love us and love to hear us ramble about our life.
All of our weirdo life stuff.
We love to do a segment that we call Featured Friends, where it's just exactly what it sounds like. We feature a friend who sent in something for us to share. And I share them in the order that I received them. And I think this is the last one that I have. So if you're watching and you would love to be featured, we would love for you to send something in. And this week we have Emily Call. I was trying to remember. We were just talking about it a minute ago. Emily Call sent in her finish of a design by a Ukrainian designer. So I'll put the picture right here.
It's the same one. Started that, she and I, about the same time a year ago when people were stitching for Ukraine, and because the designer is Stitchy Princess Black Ekaterina
Spaniella, if I'm saying it right.
I think. And she, I don't know, I hold her dear to my heart. She lived in Kherson, and so she was there when it was liberated and stayed there as long as she could, but that city's still pretty much wrecked and I think they're still under a lot of attack. So she did evacuate. I feel like she went to Odessa, but I could be wrong, and started all over again. So anyway, I love your colors, Emily. I love the deeper pinks, and I wished I'd done that because mine's on blue fabric, but yes, yours really pops on that fabric of yours. And
so cute.
Sweet.
She says, I wanted to share my finish of Flower Fairy by Katarina at Stitchy Princess Black on Instagram. I will link her store and her Instagram below. I know Kim just finished this recently and thought I'd share my finish too. I'm going to hang it in my daughter's room. I loved stitching this. I made changes with the colors and the motifs because I didn't want to stitch all the white. I don't remember the name of the fabric I used. It's so cute. And the frame is perfect color for it. That red frame.
And you know what? I do realize one other area that because we were looking at it before we started recording, some of those flower motifs at the top were white, and she's done more of a blue and a green, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that because it was a lot of white, but I just did it as stitched. And white. Emily, you should check out Emily's Etsy shop. She has really cute little patterns. A couple bigger patterns, but a lot of hers are small, so they're easy to do. I've shown them many times. I just finished her winter one, but I totally missed. I think in February she came out with a couple of new ones, and there's a new one that I love. Anyway, just go check her out.
Yeah, I'll also link her below too. Yeah. It's Salt and Pepper Stitching. Salt and Pepper.
Yeah. But I think if you just even go Emily Call on Etsy's website, it'll pull her up. I think it will.
Probably. Yeah.
But she has a lot of cute little seasonal things and some faith-inspired ones too. Yeah. So check her out. And I loved your finish, Emily.
Yeah.
And I just saw her daughter is cheer. Is it cheer?
I thought it was dance because it was lyrical dance and jazz that she.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations. I don't know your daughter's name, but congratulations to your daughter.
She got first place, I think. It's a competition. Yeah, it was some competition, and her daughter got big awards.
Yeah.
So impressed.
Fun. Speaking of which, these two girls that are about to share also just had big dance news. You want to come talk about it? Because we talked
Yeah,
about your audition last week. Last week or 2 weeks ago? Gosh,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. What happened today? What did we find out?
We got in
To
summer dance lab.
Summer Dance Lab. What is Summer Dance Lab?
The summer intensive.
Yeah, it's a summer dance intensive.
Yeah, I don't think your mic's picking them up very well.
Sorry.
They got into a summer dance intensive that they were auditioning for a couple of weeks ago. They both were offered
For ballet.
For
ballet.
ballet. There's other dance included, but it's mostly ballet focus, I think. And I think it will. I looked at it a little more closely, and I think there might be a 1 week option. If it was 3 weeks, I think it's a little early for a 12 and 13-year-old to be away from home for 3 weeks. I'm just not ready for that. But if it's 1 week, we're going to see what we can do to figure out how to afford to send them, I think, because
Oh, sure.
it would be really, really fun for them both and really good for their dance.
It would be fun. Now you need to find out if your friends got in.
I know.
6 hours of ballet, 5 days a week.
It's 6 hours of dancing a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You're going to find out really quick if you really, truly love it.
Love dancing or
Yes.
you tolerate it.
Yeah.
You
It's
still
a
love
fun
it
one.
after that. You know you love it.
Yep.
Hey,
That'll be the best.
this is my first time in a while.
Yeah, this is your first time in a while. So say your name,
My
especially
name
since
is
you haven't been here a while.
Liddy.
And
And I have something to show.
all right, take it away, lady.
Oh,
You start?
strawberry cow. Did you just start that?
Yes.
Did you fix it?
Oh, cute. You got the border going?
That's
Wait.
the hound's tail border. And there was a flower here, but Mom ripped it out, and I actually have to rip out the butterfly too.
So, did you buy that one when you were here at Christmas time, or is that one that Mom had?
The time before.
Okay. Cute. I like the colors.
I love the colors too. Wait,
Really cute. Oh, and by the way, Lydia is 13. She didn't say how old she was, but
He's 13.
good job, sweetie. I think it's going to be really cute.
Okay.
Springy. Are you in the mood for spring?
Thank you.
Yes, we're in the mood for spring.
Yes.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Salute.
What?
I'm watching Captain America or something. I don't know.
13. 13 is a fun and wild age.
The wild one. I'm almost gonna have another one. Who's 13 in a couple years.
Oh,
It'll be wild then too.
Mhm.
An emotional roller coaster for us all.
For the next 10 years. Oh, okay, what you got going, Millie?
What do you have to show, Millie, my regular girl?
This
You cute
Your
mushroom.
mushroom
forest.
forest.
It's cute.
Here, I can slide over so you can get up close.
Oh, look at that. You were just starting that white one before last week, weren't you? Cute.
It looks good on that fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
cute. Are you
does.
stitching it in hand or with a hoop? Are you stitching it,
Like this.
just bunching it and not holding it tight?
Mhm.
You like doing that in that way? Yeah.
Yes.
Are you stitching it during reading time at night now, or are you just knitting again still?
No, I
I
need
took a break.
You do? What
most
is it?
of my knitting.
Oh, I don't remember hearing that.
Keep telling you. Okay.
She what?
She needs my help, I guess, with her knitting. I don't know what she
Oh,
needs. I'll look
okay.
at it later, I guess.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good job.
My little
Cute.
stitching partners.
So
They have
cute.
taste in their project.
They do.
Tiny Modernist just showed another, speaking of the girls, because they love to stitch Tiny Modernist. She had a really cute one coming out. It's called the
Nashville.
Stitcher's Garden. I'm assuming it's for Nashville, but
You know, I was really disappointed because I started watching Carolyn Zook's
oh yeah.
Flosstube on the shop with me
Yeah.
going through the Guernsey toten bags. And I kind of started a list. Look at here.
Is it real long? Oh yeah, it's nice.
And then I realized I missed the cutoff to order by a day.
Oh
I
darn.
thought I had till Saturday and it was till Friday. So
Darn.
it's okay. I mean, they're going to be
All
for
of those
sale.
things will be released later,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't going to get all of them.
Emotional
But
time.
there was a really cute Birds of a Feather needle book by Stacy Nash that I loved. And then there was also I've never heard of haystack stitching, but they had like something, I think it was like a needle book also called Posy, and it was really pretty.
Oh,
Anyway, it was fun to see all it wasn't, I didn't go through all the designers. I kind of picked, because you can sort by designer. So I stopped watching her video because I was doing other stuff, but I had my phone on and I was watching, or no, I went to their website and I just started pulling up designers. So I didn't go through a lot. I mean, there's a wide variety of styles out there for sure. But Luhustitches, I've never stitched anything by her, I don't think. She had some cute little, really springy ones. Luhu, Luhu. She had one called
look her up.
Flora's Basket and Flora's Posies, and they were super cute. So if you get a chance, go check her out.
Fun.
Yeah, anyway. So no Nashville for me this year, but that's okay.
So sad.
Yeah, I need so many patterns. Yeah, we had this conversation. Okay, you guys. My son in Indianapolis, he and his wife called last night. We're chatting and they go, "Hey, what are you guys going to do with mom's car when you move?" And I'm like, "Why are you asking?" Because Carrie wants to go down to one car. And I mean, in my head, I know it makes sense to, because he'll be retired. But I'm like, and I said, "I don't know." I said, "I can't." He goes, "Are you going to drive that all the way here?" And I said, "I don't know." And I said, "I don't really want to give up my freedom. I mean, my car kind of feels like my freedom." And this whole conversation evolved into this big discussion about budget and craft supplies. And I said, I really like being able to go on Fridays to the needlework store and buying a pattern or fabric or whatever I want. And Dad goes, "I do give her a budget, but she does go over it every time." I said, "I don't every month. I don't. If you take out my subscription to the historical sampler company, I don't. I mean, I haven't bought hardly anything this month." And Sam goes, "Wait a minute. What are you spending all that money on, Mom? Like just patterns?" And I said, "Yeah, patterns, flosses." And he goes, well, what if Dad upped it by another $25? Would that be enough? I said, "Maybe." I said, "But he gives me X amount. He doesn't understand how much things cost." "Well, Mom, that's not on him. You need to tell him how much things cost. It's not up to him to investigate that." Oh, I did not like that conversation one bit. Because, retirement equals. But I said, for so many years we were raising kids. We didn't have extra money for a lot of stuff. We just didn't. And it was okay. It wasn't like I was miserable. But then I went back to work and I said, "And I still have to work 6 more years. So don't start telling me I can't spend any money on anything when I'm still working." So that kind of ended the conversation, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. How about you guys? Does anybody out there only have one car with their husband?
That sounds so hard. But of course, like my life couldn't work that way.
I guess it just means that this sounds terrible because I feel like a terrible person that I have to checking in with him and we have to coordinate our time together. And I mean, is that a bad thing? No, but I have gone from being alone all weekend. I mean, Carrie's worked, he's a mailman. He works Saturdays. So, and I have my Fridays off and he works Fridays. So I'm going from that to all of a sudden having him here and in my way and wondering what I'm doing, and not necessarily in a bad way, but to me, it just makes me kind of like, why are you asking me what I'm doing?
Well, right now he's asking you because he's bored out of his mind.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, I know I sound like such a wimp, and I love him, and he's not. I'm making him sound so unreasonable, and he's not. But it is a major life change to go. And we had only one car when we were first married, and when we first had Sarah and Andrew, and worked opposite shifts of each other. And let me tell you, that was no fun. I was grocery shopping at midnight.
Yeah.
When he got home with the car because he worked a swing shift. So obviously that's not going to happen now. But anyway, I don't want to give up my car. And that car is the first new car we'd ever bought after Sarah got married and we needed a new car. I love that car. And that Mazda's gone, like, it's just been a great car. We've put very little money into it. It just keeps going. So, and how long have you been married? 16 years?
Yeah.
Had that car 16 years. So anyway, I have to figure out this budget.
Well, maybe you just put your foot down and say, no, I want to keep my car until it dies, and then we can go down to one car. Speak to
I
that.
said that. I kind
Huh?
of alluded to that. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like insane. Is he wanting to get rid of it because of the insurance?
I think insurance and just, you know, the upkeep on it and the gas and and let's face it, it'll curtail how much I'm going out, which I'm hardly going out anyway because I'm still working. So I don't really know. Yeah, insurance, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He just wants more togetherness time with me.
You sound really excited about that.
I'm sorry. I'm happy for him. Part of me is really bitter though that I have to keep working for another 6 years.
Oh,
Especially after the day I had today, because today was a doozy of a Monday.
oh, I'm
I
sorry.
came out of here into the other room where he's watching TV. I said, I can't do this 6 more years. He goes, well, you're gonna have to.
Ooh,
Mhm.
look at how far I am. I'm really
Oh, look at Sarah's sweater for Rosie.
so I probably have like half an inch more to go, and then I'll do the bottom hem, and then I'll do the sleeves and the hood, and then it'll be done. That's still a lot left, but I wish you could feel it. It's really soft and
Soft.
super
It
squishy.
looks soft.
Yeah, it is really. It just has a nice weight to it. I'm
Just
trying.
another inch, huh?
Yeah, then the hemline, and then that's the length. I think that'll hit her where she wants it to hit. It's a
Mhm.
little bit bunched up, you know. It's
Well,
actually
yeah, that's true. It's
needle.
on the needle still. Good job.
I'm gonna put a stitch marker in, and from there I needed to do 2 more inches. So I
Okay.
probably have done. I might have
Getting there. Yeah.
inch or so. So I got that. I was working on some knitting.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I'll show my knitting. We do cross stitch, but we also both knit.
Yeah, the knitting was on top of my pile.
Knitting's kind of made more of a comeback, I think, from me.
Oh,
I'm stuck. But anyway, I'm making a cowl called Heart Warmer by Lettuce Knits. And I finished the broken rib, which doesn't even really look that different to me than a regular rib, but there is a broken line that runs here, that runs through it a little bit. You can't even really tell down here.
Oh, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, it does look a little, yeah. Anyway, now my next section is a smocked section. So you have like a little line that pulls stitches together kind of thing. I'll hopefully have some of that done by next week, but I still really love this.
Yeah.
And the coat that I ordered that I took 2 months to come, I've forgotten what color I had ordered it. I ordered a very dark gray. So just about everything I've knit neckwear wise will end up looking really pretty with it, I think. That's good. Anyway.
It's pretty.
Yeah. So you want to do your stitching next?
Sure. Okay, I'm just gonna grab them off the top of the pile. So I did finish almost all of my magazine monthly. I think I have another hour left on my Haid. Show in a second, but I think my tablet died and I keep forgetting to go plug it in. So I need to plug it in when we're done, and then maybe tonight. So I've been working on this dimensions piece since before we started floss tubing. This is a big one, and I worked on it for a couple hours. This was one of my whip go pieces. You can't, I mean, it looks basically the same as the last time I showed it. So I but I did all this gray down here, and I did some what did I do? I filled in, there was some missing stitches up here and this brickwork, you know, just a few.
I mean, it's kind of like a full coverage piece.
It is a full coverage piece with swatches of white. So
just bigger stitches than on the little tiny.
Yeah, but on Ada and not on gridded fabric.
Yeah, it's beautiful though.
Still really do love working on them. So I was working on this while we were watching the Avengers today with the girls, because we just started watching all the Marvel movies with them. They're loving them.
So fun.
And I've seen
them. Not watched any of them yet?
No, they have. Well, now they have, but yeah, we haven't watched any of them yet.
So have you gotten to a Guardians of the Galaxy yet? Those are my favorite. I love those.
Not yet. We have a little bit of time still for that one. We watched the 2 Iron Mans, Thor,
I love him too.
I like the later Thors. This movie was fine, but it wasn't the best one.
Mm,
And Captain America, which I really like that one.
yeah.
And then today we watched The Avengers because we're on a little break from school, so we
Uh-huh.
we'd watch a movie. It's Monday. We're recording on Monday because I took a really long nap yesterday and we didn't wake up.
Slept through our production time.
Gosh, I
That's
don't
so
know.
cute. That little piece is so cute.
Worked on this guy again because this was one of my magazine monthly goals that went along with the
Beach.
Thor beach theme. And I have been working on the crab square, so you can kind of see.
Cute.
I got the waves done and the crab, mostly started.
So cute.
I could finish this so fast if I just put my mind to it. But
you could, because you got the border all done, so all you're doing is just filling in now.
Yeah. The last one is quite a bit of stitching with the 3 fish.
Yeah, that's true. And they are tiny, but doesn't mean they're not.
They're tiny, but they're kind of full with a lot of color.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't have a picture of my Hade. So I show one.
It's Tiny Traveler.
It's Tiny Traveler. I should print like a picture and just shove it in.
Put it in there. Since you're going to be showing this until you're 50.
I'm going to show this till I die. Yeah. Woohoo! Look, I got 100 stitches done.
Hey,
so
but look at that.
I know. So I just steadily making progress down. So I'll probably do another 100 stitches before Wednesday when it's March, and hit my whip go goal. And yeah, that would just be a whip go goal. It's not a magazine monthly goal. But I'm trying to kind of catch up on whip go because I started late and
Oh, that's right.
Well, I kind of started like at the very end of January. I just didn't have time. January just felt really crazy for me.
So, well, you were here at the beginning of February, so
yeah,
that week,
I've been trying to catch up
that weekend or whatever it was.
All my whip goes. I also worked just for fun. This wasn't on any schedule or plan on my Cricut collection.
Rest and be thankful.
That I got for Christmas from Mom. And just working on the roof. Just making steady.
The never-ending roof.
It is a big roof. Look how long it is.
You know, I noticed when I was looking at patterns, when I was doing the market, pre-looking, I'd be looking at these pieces and think, oh, that is so pretty. I love that piece. And I look at it and go, what are you thinking? It is a huge house, Kim. You are not, let's be realistic. You are not going to like stitching.
You love it finished, but you don't like working on that.
Right. So yeah, I need to kind of rein it in sometimes.
Yeah. Some people I feel like stitch mostly houses. And I'm like,
I know.
Aren't you so bored?
I know. Well, like all those little snow globe houses and
they're so cute all done, but I would hate.
They're adorable. I know. I look at them and think, oh, that would be so pretty on the wall. And I'm like, are you kidding?
No, it's not cute enough. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
I'd rather stitch a border than stitch 10 houses.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Same. But I guess I'm into big 3 fish thing. Like I was just
I was gonna tell you, hands-on design. Heart and Hand.
Yeah.
Has a floral etching that's coming out.
Oh, really? Oh,
it's
pretty
gorgeous. It's one I wanted to get.
Sort of similar to this, small.
It's that same style. It's small. It's 3 flowers. But I think part of what kind of struck me was they have it on a certain kind of fabric that's got a little bit of a background to it. But I still think it would be gorgeous without that fabric. I mean, it just was that same style, the etching.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that.
Is that by Hands-On Design?
Yes.
Or Heart and Hand? No, Heart and Hand.
Cecilia Turner. That's Heart and Hand, right?
I think so.
I'll tell you. I've got the pattern right here. This is out of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. Heart and Hand.
Yeah, she's got it's really pretty.
This is the
beautiful colors.
If you like this, by the way, this is the 2020 summer issue. And I don't know, I just loved it. I fell in love with it. Did my own colors completely based on whatever I had.
And they're perfect. They look great.
This is dungarees or something. No, I can't remember now. Ah, I dropped it.
I don't remember. Schneckly. What are you doing?
Schneckly, and then
Oh,
some brown. I can't remember. One of the browns.
the blue was, I don't remember the blue.
Here, I've got it. I can just pull it out. Let's see. The blue is, here's my colors. Swamp. Oh, the brown is swamp water.
Oh, yeah.
The blue is dungarees, which is one of my favorite blues.
Yeah, it's a pretty one.
And then the brown is this Schneckly. They're all kind of a mess because there's only 3 of them, so I just kind of shove them in, pull out the thread I need. Anyways, I'm almost done with this. I really just have this fish, and then
you could get that done really quick.
I could also finish that one really quick. So I should probably do those as 25/7 pieces, those last 2.
I need to get back to that. I didn't do that this month.
But the hard thing is I'm working really hard on trying to get to certain points on these.
Yeah.
Monthly pieces. So I have touched a lot of things, but when I'm kind of hit those goals, this is what I pull out to work on.
Yeah. I've kind of this month put my calendar piece off a little bit towards the end and did my other stuff, and then figured I'm going to work on this again next year. So
here's where I'm at.
Oh, look at that. You got a lot done this month.
I did. Here, I'm trying to move this out of the way. I guess that's better.
You got a lot done.
I know. I told you I've been working on it like.
No kidding. That bird is no joke.
My goal was to get the bird done. I'm just missing one color for his feet and on his beak, his or her beak. I don't know if it's the female.
Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm pulling up the floral etchings while we're talking.
Okay. So this heart is so pretty, but it's a lot of work. Oh, that's
the fabric. You can see kind of takes away.
Oh, yeah.
But aren't they pretty?
You think the fabric takes away from the?
Well, it's just hard to see on this in this picture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because like the brown lines there, that's the fabric, not the floral etching.
Right.
But I just thought they were gorgeous.
Oh, I like that. I might have to.
Sorry.
That for market.
That was a market release. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm impressed with your calendar piece because that was a lot of weight.
It was a lot of white, but once I just did the gray, it was all just fill-in work, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So I'll stitch probably a little bit more on this for the next couple of days and then put it away.
You have everything you need to start your March piece?
I do. I think I might be missing a DMC that I just need to pick up. But I have the fabric and the.
How red my nose just got.
Yeah, were you drinking some wine or something?
No, it's just that when it gets warm in the house and it's cold outside, sometimes in the evening it gets really red. Sorry, I'll just cover up my Rudolph nose.
I'm sure I have anything to share on this actually. I think I might have brought this in on accident. Did I share this all finished? No, I think I had a little bit left. I finished.
You had the stars to do or something.
Yes, and then the speckly background stars. I finished the square. Woohoo!
Whoopsie-whoopsie. You know what? I just realized something.
This is Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. If you're playing along at home, you've been watching. I've been doing this for a long time as well. Man, some people
love that square though. I love that moon and stars. Look at that. Your whole top row is done.
The top row is done. So now I'll be on to the second row.
It's so cute and tiny.
It is really tiny. Look at how tiny that is. I know framing it would be fun because it will just be like really like quite small for as much stitching as that is.
Yeah. It's
really I'm rearranging the bottom, the next row. I'm rearranging a few squares. Based on something I saw on somebody else's. I think I saved it on Instagram.
Yeah, but I like it. That what they did made total sense. We talked about that.
And I can't remember why. I can't remember why now, but I still have it in my mind.
Save that post by her so you can go back.
Yeah. I think it was because there were kind of like 2 really full coverage pieces right on top of each other.
Similar too, like how
similar ones. And so I thought I would swap them and yeah. I need to look again at what I'm doing.
Actually, it was more than just one row. It encompassed a couple of rows.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could easily pull it up right now. Let's see, because it would be in my saved. Let's see, really quick. It would be under stitching. Here it is. This is Marie Loves to Stitch. And she, here, I'll pull out where's the picture. Okay, so
Yeah, we see your.
you do it like this. So underneath the moon, you have this one. And over here, yeah, that's why, because there were two houses right on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking I was going to swap these two.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm thinking about actually swapping these two because of the saying, my love at sea. I'd have to rechart some of the words. If I originally I thought, and I'll show you, this person moved.
Oh.
This person moved the bottom. Hang
Oh,
on.
she moved the stars down to the
Bunch of
bottom
stuff
too.
around. Yeah. Okay, so she moved the star down to the bottom.
Yeah.
She really rearranged a ton. I'm not
Yeah.
rearranging that much.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's not a very, I mean, the picture is kind of dark and it's not showing through.
Yeah. But I can see.
Yeah, she rearranged a ton. I'm not going to rearrange that much. I'm just going to do, I'm thinking I might just swap these two now that I'm looking at it again.
Yeah.
Because then I still have the houses not.
And you don't have to rearrange any words.
I don't have to rearrange any words because there's no words here. And I can't see any reason why I couldn't just do it that way.
Yeah.
The only drawback is what I do like about this house is that it's kind of facing in. You know what I mean? And so here it would be facing out. I could get really fancy and just reverse the whole thing.
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
I'd have to figure out how to copy and like flip, but I might do that. So I have to think about it a little bit, but that one's a ways away. So actually, I guess I'm going to go on to keeping them the same.
Yeah. I think if you don't have to rechart words, it'd be the best.
Yeah, I don't want to rechart the words. I mean, I could. It wouldn't be the end of the world. It would just say, I will wait for thee, my love at sea, rather than my love at sea, I will wait for thee, if I put this over here.
Oh, I see.
But one of the things I really did like about this one too was the saying that she put in
Instead of the squares.
Memory of Jacob Pomeroy in the blue one right there.
Oh yeah.
This was one of the things I liked about this. She wrote, "An ocean breeze puts my mind at ease."
Oh yeah.
And I think I might copy that in ocean. Because I like that.
Did she change her colors up too?
Yeah.
Or did she use the silks? Okay.
No, well, actually, her pictures doesn't match. She changed. Oh, she did stitch it with silks, but she did use some variegated threads.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what all she changed. But anyways, long story short, I'm not a huge sampler stitcher. I don't like stitch a lot of things that are like somebody else's name with an old date on it. So it doesn't really make sense to keep that guy's name. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Means nothing to you.
That's just a made
Probably
up.
Not even a real person anyway.
A made up person, Jacob Pomeroy.
Probably a person that's made up in the Hawk Run Hollow land.
Maybe, or maybe it's actually a relative of somebody who designed it.
That was also I looked at something on the pre-order site on Garon, and it was a smaller piece. It wasn't a big sampler. I don't know if it was a scissor roll. I don't know what it was, but it was probably. But right in the middle it says like 1885, and I'm like, or some other date, not even like 1885, 1887, or
yeah.
I'm like, what's the significance of this? Why is this big date right there in the middle of this piece?
I think some people are like really like that repro, like feeling like you have this, but I don't care about that at all. I would rather.
I mean, I get it on the samplers, but this wasn't really a sampler, so I didn't really understand why that was on there.
Oh, interesting.
And I said I would never start a Hade, and I didn't think I'd ever start a Hawk Run Hollow, so I shouldn't say I would never stitch a repro.
You probably will find one
sampler, although at this point in my life, I'm not that interested in it. Yeah.
From Gail's Golden Needle, I was just watching her this week, and she said similar things. Like, she's not a sampler stitcher, but There was one that she stumbled on. I can't remember who it is or what. You should just go watch her latest episode. You'll see
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I didn't know she had a new one up. I'll have to watch it.
I don't know how new it is. I might have been watching an old one that's not that new. I don't know, but I think it was fairly new. And she, she said, but I just loved the designs on this. I think I'm going to change a little bit here, but that'll probably be you. You'll just find one that just is like,
Just find one.
just love
There
that.
was one that I was looking at and I thought, oh, why would anybody stitch this? It was just all red and it was just alphabets.
Oh, and I don't like stitching alphabets.
And I like alphabets to a degree, but just stitching 3 different alphabets all in red. There was no cute motifs. And it was a reproduction of some kid that, but I'm like, and I suppose there's probably, if you're really into the historical part of that, it probably would be beautiful and you would love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And sometimes the colors just don't do it for me. And
well, when you think about like those samplers were meant for like often more beginner stitchers. Like this was what they were doing, not beginner, that's not the right word, but girls were stitching those to learn on, especially like alphabet ones and things they were learning. They're pretty, but that's like in 100 years, is somebody going to take one of those small dimensions kits and repro those like that, use easy to begin on? Not that those are as pretty as these. People are going to get like angry mail at us, like, how can you?
Don't be mad at us. We're just not sampler people.
Just to me, I'm just like, you're just reproducing a child's like work. The fancier ones I get, like the ones that have really pretty motifs and things, like long dog samplers, even though those aren't repro, but like,
but and some of the samplers that are just done by older girls, even, you can tell they were done by an older girl.
More like, those ones
But I also think that, yes, that I'm sure that people that love doing those reproductions, like actually reproducing them and or stitching them, there's a historical piece that speaks
probably
to them.
I'm just not connecting to it.
And I've watched some of Kitten Stitcher, Lisa Vanetti.
I'm not sure.
No, Teresa Vanetti. And she's very much into the historical. And I also wonder if like she probably has had access to going to some of these. I'm not saying the Smithsonian, but some of those places that where I don't really have that here. We don't really have that heritage here on the West Coast. So maybe if I was more entrenched in that, it would mean more to me. Maybe I don't know.
That might be.
Don't hate us.
I am not samplers. I just don't. Have a lot of interest.
Some of them are so big. So big.
Yeah.
And like Kindred Stitcher, hers are beautiful. I mean, she does a lot of samplers and they are beautiful. And when she gets them framed, and she's really good at getting her stuff framed right away too, I think. Yeah. I also don't have a wall space.
Yeah.
For a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Teresa Kitten Stitcher. I'm pretty sure I watched one of hers a long time ago, like in the last year though, of her room, because she has a business, but it's her stitching room, and it is just wall to wall sampler.
Somebody else I was watching, maybe Ronna Pfeiffer or somebody also has.
She probably does too.
Reproduction.
It was gorgeous.
That was gorgeous. Yeah. Maybe if I was into it and I had a ton of them, maybe that would be kind of the vibe I was going for.
And there's a whole community out there that
are into my decor at all. Like have all those.
No, and there's a whole community, I think, where they are, searching for those and buying them, the originals, and preserving them, and trying to like, you don't want to buy, like, some people, there's crooks out there all the time that are selling you fakes, and I know that there is quite an art to that. And knowing what to buy and if you're getting a good deal, but they're not cheap either. I'm sure some of these ones that they bought to reproduce are a lot of money. Yeah. Anyway, that was a rabbit hole. Sorry, guys.
Rabbit hole.
We love samplers. Love them. We just don't like to stitch them.
We just don't get it. I just don't know. No, I get it. I
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Now watch. Next year I'll be on a whole 6.
I was gonna say. Like in 10 minutes, You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, look at this sampler. Now I have to stitch it.
I didn't see any on the market release that I was dying to stitch. So
Yeah, one's gonna call to you, and then we're gonna be like,
no, I refuse. Okay. Is that all you got?
that's all I got. What did you work on this week?
Well, I stitched on my whip go. I met all my stitching goals this month.
Hey,
All
wow.
of them. I know my whip go, my magazine, and who would have thought? Because I thought with dad and all that, I would be way behind.
You kept
So
talking about
I'm stitching a Hawk Run Hollow, but I'm stitching the Christmas one right now. I have another one too, but I'm stitching this massive home in the middle there.
Speaking of stitching houses that we just love to do.
I know what I it didn't dawn on me until a long time into this that this whole thing is full coverage. It's all white. Anyway,
Didn't dawn on me.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I am plugging along. So this last week
I've met all my.
You met yours too? You did?
I need another hour on my Haid. Sorry.
Oh, you can do that. You got 2 more days. 1 more day.
Okay,
I
sorry.
filled in that.
Oh yeah.
I started that house there.
Part of the house.
I mean that part of the house.
Oh, you're gonna have it done soon.
Liar, liar. Stands on fire. You know where liars go.
Is the white of the ground, is it mostly just back and forth like fill in, or is it, I just need to see the picture
It
again.
is
There are a bunch of motifs that you're gonna have to work around.
It's I think I'll stitch those guys.
Oh boy. You do. Oh boy, you have a lot to go. Okay. You will have it done soon.
I don't. I won't.
You can have that done this year.
This block.
You're the block.
I hope I haven't done it. One more started by this year. Oh, gracious me.
I forget what your goal for working on
my
that.
Calendar piece. I met my January goal last month, but I did not meet my February goal because I was busy doing all my other goals. But that's okay. But this was my February.
Oh, yeah. I like this one.
And I basically got, I'll just tell you now, this is done and this is done.
Oh, cute.
Little birds. And then I started my borders. So there's another whole piece here and another thing here, but I wanted to get my border done so I can start my March.
Right.
And so March will be begun. And I think I don't have to tweak the size of this. Nope, that's not March. That's January. I do. I have to take away 1 stitch vertical and I have to add 2 stitches horizontal. But it's a lion and a lamb. Really bad, that plastic, sorry. But I'm looking forward to this one. I love the colors in it. It's still in plastic, but it's kites, March, lion and a lamb.
That's cute.
Birds. Anyway, it's cute. So there, yeah, there's a lot of stitching on it, but this February one was a lot. Like when I look at this, I've got this whole heart to do that drops down. I've got all that white to do.
Yeah.
So this, and I might come back to it even, during another month and work a little bit on it if I get that month done. But like Sarah, I realize this piece, because these are all, if you're new here, these are all individually released, but I'm doing them all on one big piece of fabric. So there's my January and there's my February. My border's not showing up very well on my January, but you can see the blue there. Yeah. So that's that. I did get a little bit. I just kind of forgot about it at one point. I was so busy working on my Rosewood Manor because my goal was to work on my Rosewood Manor Quakers each month. Look at this. You can see I've got magnets. Sometimes I pick it up and my scissors are hanging.
Okay, I had to tell you a story really quick. So that made me think of this, and maybe you'll see why in a minute. So we live in an old house. Like the house itself is probably 100 years old, and then different parts have been added on over time. But the plumbing, who knows how old it is, and it's small pipes in some of the house, and we
It's
constantly
horrible.
it's so annoying, and we really need to probably redo a lot of the plumbing. Jesse's redone some of it, but there's some of it we just can't do ourselves, and it's a whole thing. So this week, I can't remember what day, Friday maybe, one of the days this week, the shower was backing up. Ugh. And wasn't draining. And if you ran the bathroom sink, the shower was backing up. If you ran the kitchen sink, the shower was backing up. Okay. So yesterday, Jesse snaked somewhere and he thought it worked. Maybe it was Friday. One day he snaked, thought it worked, didn't work. Eventually, we realized, like, no, there's still a clog somewhere in the line, even though there shouldn't have been. And he thought he had gotten it out. Okay. So then today, this morning, he gets up early, he gets the snake, and he's going down through the bathroom sink. And he knows that at the bottom of the bathroom sink, there's either a turn up to the shower, like, where they both go down and then they come to a T. And he was hoping to get the snake, he was hoping it would go the long way, but he knew there was a possibility it might just push up towards the shower. But he's snaking. We've got an electric one, so he's snaking and snaking the drain, and it's going out and it's going out and it's going out. And I'm like, okay. He said, so it's not coming up to the shower. And I said, no, there's nothing there. I'm like looking, there's no sign of the snake. So we think, okay, great. It's gone down the longer line, down that pipe, and now it'll push through whatever clog that is. He's snaking and snaking and snaking and snaking. We run the water now and then, and it's still clogging up in the shower. So we're like, whatever. And so he's going to just keep going and keep pushing it and trying to figure out what's going on. I leave the room to go, I forget what I was doing, making breakfast. I don't know. I was doing something in the other room and come back. And I look in the shower and the water is still like at the level of the drain. So it's not going down. And I'm like, okay, darn it, it's not going down. So I kind of leave the shower and I'm talking to him. And I look back and the snake, in like the span of a minute, and somehow unbeknownst to us, has pushed through the shower drain, which is not, it's a standing shower. It's a, what do you call that? It's just a shower, not a bathtub. And it has like a grate that's like built into the stonework. It has somehow, in like really fast, pushed its way up, and it's like flailing around in the shower. And I look over like, oh my gosh. Sorry for screaming. That probably wasn't very pleasant. That was how I felt. Like I'm panicking, partly because there's more to this story. So we've been watching this show that we really like. It's not for everyone. It's called Evil, and it's about demons and all this crazy stuff. And there's the episode that we watched recently. Something demonic gets flushed down the toilet, and now the toilet is clogged, and somebody's trying to snake it, and something grabs the snake. It's this whole horror shtick thing, and pulls the snake all the way out. So I'm already like a little on edge. Now, there's no blood coming out of the toilet, right? Like there's scenes in that show where there's like,
well, where had the snake been?
We think it must have like just coiled itself in the drain because it was not, and then all of a sudden came up.
It was just whipping around.
Whipping around as he's still snaking. I was like, oh, honey, wait, the snake's up in the shower.
Stop snaking.
Stop. So he retracts the whole thing. Oh, so when you held up your magnet with all the little things, made me think of the snake.
Gotta love those magnets. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So we do have it all unclogged. We ended up getting like industrial strength Drano, and we finally got that clogged.
Is it unclogged?
Yeah, the bathroom one got unclogged, but then the kitchen was still clogging. So we think that probably kind of that standing water, like the clog created like another clog further up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That one is also cleared now. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Now. Anyways.
Oh, sorry, honey. I know what a pain that is. Okay, so for my magazine monthly goal, for the word was wave, and for A, I picked walk in the woods because it's an alphabet and it's this cricket
Oh,
Cricket collection. And
like
so I've done part of this border and I did the A. Well, I already had done part of the border, but so what I basically did was this whole bottom
that's pretty.
and the A.
It's really pretty. I love those violets.
Yeah, the A looks funny backwards, but anyway, so that I made progress on that. I do love this piece. It's very muted. And I opted to go with 1/1 on 36. So it's very not really thick coverage, which at first I wasn't sure I liked, but I think it's going to be okay.
Mhm.
And then this was not on any of my plans, but I love her so much that I worked on her quite a bit. And it is my Trick or Treat Fairy from Mirabilia, or Nora Corbett, I guess. It's this one. And so I did her arms and the owl.
Oh, wow. A lot of progress.
Her face isn't showing up real great here. I don't,
Yeah.
it's hard on this fabric. I think I might have done some of this Krennic too. That Krennic was no fun.
Yeah, I don't think you had that last week. Pretty
Not
though.
quite focusing, is it? Come on, Allie.
Pretty.
But yeah, she's coming along. She's coming along. I've got a lot of these little fairies going.
You do.
Uh-oh. I think that belongs with the snake. Turkish red is the color on that border that I'm doing in Pine Mountain Designs.
Mm.
Then I also, this was a goal. I am doing shepherd's bush ornaments from the Just Cross Stitch ornament magazines. There's 8 of them from 2000 to 2008. There was one a year, and I am doing 6 of them this year. I'm giving myself 2 months to do one each. So January and February, I got this one done this week, 2,000 years ago.
Cute.
So, and I added the Krennic to it.
That looks nice.
Yeah. So problem is, I just realized is that when I do all 6 of these, I then have to finish all 6 of them. A little bit. Oh, my goal is to have little pillows. I just want to have a little bowl of the nativity because each one tells a part of the nativity. So coming up this for March and April, it's the angel saying. So it's an angel. And then my other goal, like I started talking about, is I've got all 4 of the seasonal Quakers. And so I've started winter and I started summer, but I just recently got spring and Sarah gave me autumn a long time ago. So this year, so I'm doing 3 months a piece on them seasonally. So so winter is January, February, and then winter will come out again next December. So this is what it looks like if you've never seen Winter Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And I finished page 1. I've been working on it for a while, and I started page 2, and it's very hard to see on this fabric, but I did do this. Hold on a second. What have I done? I'm holding upside down here. There we go, sideways. I did this motif. Again, my camera's bad tonight. This motif, and then I'm starting, the page break was right there, so I'm doing that.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's not showing real well tonight, but I do think that I'm going to like the other Quakers a little bit more because there's not all these tedious snowflakes that are backstitched. There's words, but I'd rather backstitch words than backstitch some of these snowflakes. So this is going to go away until December. But it was supposed to be 8 hours a month, so I did 16 hours on this. So I'm pretty proud of myself. And I think that is pretty much all I stitched on.
Where's your joyful world?
Uh-huh.
Where's
What?
your joyful world?
What?
Where's your joyful world?
Joyful World didn't get work done.
I know.
I also my other goal was to finish Winter by Emily Call, which I showed a couple weeks ago. I did finish that. Oh. And I also had previously met my goal on Jardine Privé's Patchwork Été. And I also had started Valentine Fairy by Mirabilia, but I didn't work on it this week, but I made my goals. So I was very happy about that because I really had very low expectations for myself this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. And then I worked on I have my plans all done.
Oh, I don't have my plans done.
For March.
I do not. I know. I need to just do the magazine monthly and then decide if I want to. And then my other goal is usually just
Yeah.
the calendar type, the cottage
Oh,
garden.
here's my other. Well, I'll just show it. Maybe did I tear it out?
What is it?
Oh, my other shepherd. So if we want to talk about plans,
Oh yeah, we could just talk about plans.
this is the angel saying.
Oh, cute.
But I don't have all the flosses for it. So I'm hoping this Friday I can go actually to my needlework store.
But
And I sell and get them. I'll
Yep.
just go on. My other big start for it was going to start anyway. It's my spring Quakers. And I actually did put that in as the S for Etsy because next month the theme is needlework shop, which is my shepherd's bush ornament because it's in a magazine this time. I'm just being good. And shepherd's bush is a needlework store. And then spring Quaker is for my S. And I can't wait to start this one.
Cute. Yeah, that's a pretty one.
And I have the call for fabric and the call for Baldani. So I'll get to start that. And so I'll work on that for 3 months. And then summer will come out. And then Hoity Toity is my Whip Go Call, and Hawk Run Hollow is a Whip Go Call. Patchwork Ete is coming out again for E and Etsy. Thanksgiving Fairy, which I started for Bringo, is going to come out for T. And Y and Etsy is my yearly piece. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Oh, but I also
you're just doing you're just doing the Etsy work.
Yeah, I'm just doing the Etsy. Yeah, I don't want to I don't want to get too high of an opinion of myself because the other word you could use was credit.
Charge it, I think.
Charge it, which I didn't want to do that. But I also did a Tiny Decisions spinner for this. And so what I had done was there were so many pieces that I worked on for Bringo that I wanted to keep out and work on a little bit longer. So I split them up. I made a list of them and I did a Sunday, Monday spin. I did a Tuesday, Wednesday spin and a Thursday, Friday, Saturday spin. So those ones will be like the Valentine Fairy that I started, the Gathered in Love, which is my Barbara Richards Bourgeau piece that I'm so close to finishing. Well, not so close, but closer. My Vivaldi Girls, Miss Valentine Mirabilia, Flea Market Flowers, which I'm going to restart, Walk in the Woods, and my Blackbird that Gail from Gail's Needle did, and my Barbara Anna Garden of Dreams. I started that during Bringo. So I'll hopefully kind of rotate those through when I'm not working on the other. Yeah. But you haven't put
I haven't put my magazine monthly challenge.
Yeah.
Another
day. I just
Whip Go. Yeah, I was going to work on it. We are on a school break right now for the week. I usually do that every 6 weeks where I just have a planning week and
yeah.
So I'll probably do some of that tomorrow, but this month my Whip Go Call is my Hawk Run Hollow. I might switch to spring since I just finished the one.
Spring going.
And where's 22? And then my Snow Queen again. I'm kind of tired of working on her. I'm actually not tired of working on her, but I'm tired of her being called. But that's okay. I'm making some progress. In fact, I did work on her. I forgot to bring her in, but that's okay. I'll just show her next time.
You know, I might bring my other Hawk Run. I was only going to focus on my Christmas one, and Sarah said, "Oh, you should just put Hawk Run Hollow on your Whip Go board, and then when they call it, you can decide which one you want to work on."
Yeah.
And if you're new here, I had started also when Sarah started that Shores. I started a year at Hawk Run Hollow, and then I had a really bad start on my fabric. And so I restarted it. I might pull that out, maybe give myself a break.
Just keep the variety.
Yeah. Might
So
do that.
next week I'll have my plan put together better, but
Yeah. It's not a hard month.
no, it should be easy.
I figure I figure now anything with a Y in it, yearly piece.
Yearly piece.
Yearly piece.
Yearly pieces.
Yeah. And Q, I got Quakers going.
Yeah. Quakers for Q. That's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Haul. I don't have any haul.
I have no haul. I did not go over my budget.
Got my ballerina in the background.
Hello.
You take a shower? Oh, your hair looked wet. Just the.
Yeah, I don't have haul. And I'm still reading my same book. What?
Did he read? That's fine. He was supposed to be gone tonight when I agreed to do Flosstube tonight. I'll come deal with bedtime in a few minutes. We'll be done soon.
Yeah.
You can sit there.
Are you reading anything new?
Let's see. What did I finish this week? Yes, I can't believe how much I've read this year. I've read so many books. I should have grabbed my little book journal. This week I finished the Aristotle book that I said I was reading, Poetic.
Oh yeah.
Along with my Literary Life podcast. But I feel like I also finished another book. What was it? The Dorothy Sayers Whose Body. It's the first of the Lord Peter Wimsey books. They're fun. That was a fun mystery.
Yeah.
Really fun. So I finished that this week too. So now I'm reading the Creeping Shadow. It's the fourth of that Lockwood and Co. book.
Oh yeah.
And I started David Copperfield by Charles.
Oh, you like reading there.
Big giant book. And that's mainly what I'm reading for myself. And then I'm doing school books with the girls. But.
Okay. I'm still reading Walking with Miss Millie, but I'm about 3/4 of the way through. I just haven't read that much. I had a couple of days where I was really I don't know, you guys. Like I'll have vertigo, like where the room spins. And then I also have episodes where I'm just kind of off balance. But then last weekend it was like I wasn't off balance, but my eyes were not working. Like they were like I was drunk. Like, when you had to really focus to get and I was super nauseated. Like my eyes were working really hard.
You should have done that maneuver thing.
Well, I didn't really feel skinny though. So I don't know what it was. So
I would think that could be the same thing because it's just triggering the same.
Maybe I should have, but so I just, it was super. What night was that? Friday night. Super. Came on during dinner. We were out with friends and it just got worse as the evening went on. I went to bed and it was like almost like my eyes were working when I was trying to go to sleep even. And I just felt, I woke up all night long just kind of feeling nauseated anyway. But so I didn't read for a couple of nights because it just was bothering my eyes. But my daughter-in-law texted me and said, Kim, you really need to read this book. I really loved it. I think you'd like it. So if you're looking for, I think it's kind of a generation, like a two woman story time, like a different time. It's called The Things We Leave Unfinished. And it's getting really, really good reviews. It's by, who's it by? I'd never heard of her before. Rebecca Yarros, Yarros. But anyway, I'm thinking I'm going to get that and have that next in line when I finish Miss Millie.
Yeah. Miss Millie.
It's kind of a romance, but I think it's a granddaughter. It's a grandmother and a granddaughter storyline that interweaves. So anyway, that's about all I got for that. We did have a giveaway, but nobody entered, so we don't have that.
So we don't have that, but we do have a new giveaway. Yeah, we usually do that before we talk about books, but I forgot.
We do, and this was sent to us, and we think it might be from Julie Dixon, but we can't remember. And I'd never heard of this. Oh, it's with Thy Needle and Thread.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was, and then when you said, I didn't know who it was.
It's called Valentine's Sampler, but it's not really Valentine-y. And with it, you get a spool. There must have been a kid at one time. Maybe you got thread winders. But you have the pattern to make a pin keep, a sewing box, a scissor fob, and a thimble box. And it is very sweet.
It is cute. Makes me think of your
That's cute.
tomato girl.
Yeah, this is like a roll.
Yeah,
Like it folds up in threes, but that cute house.
yeah.
And then that.
It gives the directions. I remember looking for,
Yeah.
those are like C's candy boxes or whatever, converted into these cute little,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
those
it's a pretty,
candy boxes.
yeah.
Whitman's? No. See, whoever does the ones that come in the little cardboard heart boxes, that's
Well,
what
C's does one, and I think Whitman's does one too.
you could probably use either one, but she gives directions how to finish it with one of those little candy.
Uh-huh.
So cute.
Russell Stover.
Over. Yeah, that's what it is.
But I mean, you could finish them
So
any
it
way
is
you want
perfect.
to.
That's a good, like, that's part of why it's probably a Valentine sampler, because you would
Yeah,
take
but
it
anyway, it's super cute. And we were going to use the word needle.
needle. So if you are interested in this patterns, really, these designs all together, use the word needle in your
That'll
concept.
focus.
Yeah.
That sweet little heart.
I know, I like that one.
Anyway, yeah. So if you sent this to us, thank you very much. And we are really pleased to be able to send it on to somebody else as a sweet little gift.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very thick, so I think there's a lot of direction. Well, I think the patterns, it looks like are in color. Looks like it calls for weeks and gentle arts, and probably a conglomeration of different stitches, but yeah, it's very nice. It's all in a little sleeve and everything.
I'll leave the symbol. If you want to send in something for a featured friend, send it to our email, stitchandstuffxs@gmail.com. Anything else?
No, I think it's time for us to log off, and because we're going to start yawning.
And I have to put these children to bed. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
As we chat about our stitching and life this week.